Hello. Good afternoon, ladies. Well, for me, because I'm in Stillwater, Oklahoma, it is actually still morning. So for all my ladies that it is still morning time, good morning. For those of you though who are on Eastern Standard Time, good afternoon. Or whoever's watching the replay, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is for you. Hey, how are you? So for you guys or ladies who do not know me, my name is Dr. Kristiauna Latimer, and I am a certified Christian counselor and life coach. And I'm also the owner of a luxury faith-based skincare line called The Beauty Mentor. And I am here today, just as the description says, a quick little lunch break chit chat with you all. I had the opportunity to go live earlier this week for the renew and refresh event that's going on in the group right now, and I had a great time talking to ladies about recharging your personal value system and how that actually helps you to draw the right clients to yourself with ease and grace. So that is what I kind of talked about a couple of nights ago, and that was really good. So today though, well, first, happy Earth Day, right? I just want to speak into your heart of just the value of you taking time to gain space for emotional clarity and emotional processing. And I know that kind of sounds like emotional clarity and processing. Yes, emotional clarity and processing. So often we are so stressed out or just trying to balance all of the things that we have to do on a regular basis that we don't take time to actually process our emotions, to process our thoughts. They just are always coming in from, something's going on with this kid over here, and something's going on with the business here, and this is what's going on in my, family life over here, or I might be taking care of ailing parents. And it can just kind of get overwhelming, and we feel like we don't have time to stop and really think about what's going on, or allow our emotions to come up to the surface, because it feels like I don't have time for that. I don't have time to deal with feelings and all that stuff. I just don't have time. And I really want to challenge you today about this concept, which for a lot of people is truly a core belief, is that they don't have time, or that they are too busy to do X, Y, or Z. There's, you can fill in the blank with that when it comes to the reasons. I won't say excuses. I don't like that, because not everything is really an excuse. Sometimes it's a genuine reason why you're not doing X, Y, or Z. So I think we should give ourselves permission to say that sometimes you have very valid reasons for why you're not doing certain things, instead of just always saying everything's an excuse. We have a tendency to make things like a negative connotation, and I really prefer for us to start looking at things from a different perspective of, this may be a true reason. However, there could be space somewhere else. So just to touch on a little bit what I shared earlier this week about your personal value system. And it was really talking about discovering your core values and taking that time to discover your core values today. Because your core values that you had maybe in college or 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, they could have changed. And you may still be operating off of an old value system and haven't taken the time to reevaluate, to refresh, to recharge what your current core values are to date. So I really encourage you to take some time to think about what do I really value? And I want to give this example. The example of one of your values might be time freedom. There are some people who are like, I really just value time freedom. A lot of us started businesses for the promise of time freedom, where I could work, less, make more, make my own schedule, work around my babies, all of those kind of things. And so it's like, I really value time freedom. But you actually started doing the work and building the business, and it feels like you work more in the business and because of your lifestyle and things that are going on, like you don't feel like you have any time. It's like if your time is not mapped out down to the minute, everything kind of falls apart. Or it feels like you're getting up with a perpetual to-do list all the time. You go to bed thinking about your to-do list. You wake up thinking about your to-do list. And it is a major energy drain. You just feel like, I just don't even know if I'm gonna get through this day. It just feels like so much is going on. And I think that it's important for us to really look at, even if we say we value time freedom, the way we structure and set our lives up at times does not reflect what we value. It is not reflecting that at all. And so it leads me to believe and to share the fact that that looks like, or that may mean, you need to evaluate your core belief system. Because you can value something, like I can value time and time freedom, but my belief system and my core, I feel like I don't have enough time, or I'm always running out of time, or I'm too busy to do X, Y, or Z. And you can tell that by just your behavior, because your behaviors are really great indicators of what you actually think. You may value something, but what you actually think about it, what you actually believe about it, that core, that the way that you just operate naturally without even thinking, that is really what your core belief is. And so it's important to challenge core beliefs that do not align with your values. And I think we just assume that like my values and my beliefs, they match. Not necessarily all the case. So for instance, you may value spending time with God, but your belief, once again, is I don't have time to spend with God like I used to anymore. I just don't have the time. Well, that's a belief system that needs to be challenged. That's a core belief that needs to be challenged. Because until you challenge and deal with that core belief, what you value or what you say that you value, you will not see that come into fruition into your life. And I think a lot of times we're trying to change our habits without actually taking the time to do the work to change the belief system. Because your belief system can be challenged and it can be changed. It just, you need support in that area. And so like I said earlier, when I first started about, I wanted to encourage you all to start taking the time to gain emotional clarity and to process your life emotionally. Stop stuffing everything. A lot of women get business coaches. It's like, okay, I need to strategize. I need a plan. I need coaching. Yes, you do need to strategize. You do need a plan. It is imperative that you have a coach in your life. But I always tell my women in business, you got to be able to secure your peace. And having someone to come alongside you for emotional support is absolutely priceless. And a lot of times why we don't seek the emotional support is because we sometimes don't feel like we're worth it. Or I'm not in the position yet. When I get to this place or to this place, then I can. Then it'll make sense. And the truth is, a lot of places that you desire to go in your business or in your life, it'll be very difficult to get there without having the proper undergirding of emotional support for you. You're worth having emotional support. It's not silly. It's not that it doesn't make you weak. It doesn't mean that, oh, that's just a nice luxury for later on. It's not that at all. Every woman needs support. I would say if you could have somebody coming to help you wash your dishes and fold your clothes, you should do that. A lot of times we think things cost so much more than they really do. And we're afraid because whatever our belief system is about hiring help is like, well, I won't be able to afford it. And a lot of times you can afford a lot more than you think you can. You just have to be able to learn how to reprioritize your life. So I don't want to be on here long today. I just wanted to take time to encourage you to process your emotions, gain some emotional clarity in your life, make the time to think through your values, and look and see what core beliefs do you have that are not aligning to your values, because therein lies your issue. If you've been trying to build a business and it just feels like it's not getting off the ground, or you're not getting the clients, or it just feels like you're at a standstill, then typically that has something to do with your values and your core belief system that is out of alignment, that needs to be adjusted. And there's a lot of work that you can do alone, but there's a whole lot more work that you can do with someone. And the reason why is because we just show up better when there's somebody else working with us. There's tons of self-starters and they may do really well, but that emotional piece, that mental piece, it's hard to go to places deep on the inside alone and not have someone navigating that space with you. So if you find yourself extremely stressed, remember sometimes some stress is self-induced. And we have to be honest with the fact that if this is self-induced, then I have got to make the decisions to get the support around me to help me reframe the way that I am operating on a regular basis, and that gaining that support is just as valuable and necessary to my business and my life as gaining the systems and the strategies and the product development and the marketing and the branding for the business. We can just get so wrapped up in the KPIs and the foundation of the business from an actual earthly standpoint that we don't recognize everything needs to be done in the spirit first before it even really comes into fruition into the earth realm. And you need the right support for that. So in closing today, because I decided I was going to make this really quick, I want you to think through some of these areas that could be challenging your peace. If you don't just feel like a sense of calmness on a regular basis, if you're always waking up in a panic, like, oh, what do I got to do today? Or flustered throughout the day a lot and have a difficult time calming yourself back down. I mean, that could also be nutritional things, but I'm going to look at it from a soul standpoint today. The areas that can be really challenging and impenetrable peace are how you believe about yourself, your acceptance and your self-worth. What does that look like? Your responsibilities, your obligations, and really knowing the difference between something that is an obligation or something that you're choosing to make be an obligation. Obviously, impostor syndrome, we all hear so much about that one. And I know people love to talk about impostor syndrome, and it is important. And it can rob you from your peace, but also expectations. Sometimes we need to be mindful of, where do these expectations come from? You know, who told me that I needed to be this productive? Who said that my business is not successful until I hit these numbers? Where did the concept of I need to have X, Y, or Z until I feel secure? Like, I won't feel secure until I have X amount in my bank account. Like, where did those expectations come from? And those are 5 areas that really challenge peace. They really, really challenge them. And each one of those areas are pillars that one by one need to be evaluated and rethought through. And that's something that typically you need some support in. You need some help in, because you may not even recognize that some of the expectations that you have for yourself are not stemming from you until someone's asking you the right questions, and then you have time and that space to really think about that. So I'm really just encouraging you, women, ladies, moms, please take the time to process, get clarity in your emotional space, get the support you need. You're not weak because you need support. And stop telling yourself you can't afford the support that you need. I know God to be a provider. I know that He provides you every resource that you need when you get to that place of surrender and you're willing to accept the help. A lot of times you don't have the help that you need because you're unwilling to accept it. We fight for our bias. So we all have different cognitive biases. And so we fundamentally believe we're not worth something, or am I really going to take this from my family right now? If you really believe you're taking something from your family because you're investing into yourself, that core belief has to be worked on, because God can send you the things and the people that you need to have to grow. But if you fundamentally just don't believe you should have it, you will reject it and you will repel the very thing that you need. So I just want you to be encouraged with this. I don't know who it's for, but just know that you're worth the investment in yourself. You're worth the time that you may need to take in order to process. When you get freebies and downloads and different things like that, take the time to actually finish them. I think we become digital, I won't use junkies, I don't like that word, but we just become digital hoarders. We get like this PDF and that PDF and sign up for this free workshop and that free workshop, and now you have a whole collection of programs and cheat sheets that you have not used. You could probably go to your inbox right now and find like maybe 3 or 4 or 5 PDFs that you signed up for. I was like, yeah, I should do that. How many of those are actually working on you as a person? And if there are some and they're great, how many of them have you actually finished? And if you haven't finished them, go finish it. Like, just go do it. And if you don't have anything in there, then that's wonderful. What have you had in the past? Go get that back out and review it. Because so many times we'll do things and yet we never review them. We don't put them up. We don't put them into action. So you might have done the work, but you didn't really do the work because you're not implementing it. So I say all that to say, if you need help organizing that, working through that, needing support with your emotional clutter and what to do with it, or how to get to those core values, or having someone really work through those 5 areas that challenge your peace, I would be more than happy to sit with you, talk with you, hop on a call with me, and I will go through this list with you, and one by one, we will really narrow down, like, you know what, Cindy, the one you need to focus on is right here, and take some time, and these are some exercises that you can do. I would be more than happy to be that emotional support for you, because I just value it so very much. So if you guys have any questions, please make sure that you put them in the comments, even if you are here on a replay. That's totally fine. I will be in here checking them, making sure that I get back with you ASAP. And also, I will be back again next Friday. So for like the next 3 Fridays, I will be coming in for these little quick lunch break check-ins and checkups and little chats. So please come back and join me. If you have questions, then I can answer questions live. That's no problem. If you want to be someone like, hey, can you answer this for me? I will definitely answer that for you in the upcoming live that I have next Friday as well. But like I said, my wrap up is deal with your stuff. Let's get to the emotional clutter that we've been avoiding. Kind of like avoiding, like that closet. You got that one closet. It's like, let's just put everything in there. Or the one junk drawer. Even the one junk drawer in the springtime needs to have everything pulled out and reorganized. Even the one drawer. So sending you guys so much love and support. Happy Earth Day again. And if you need me, please reach out to me. There'll be a link in here. Like, let's talk. We can just work some things out. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.